Hello students, it's Nazia Begum here, your physics lecturer, welcoming you all in today's lecture. In our previous lecture, we have discussed about electric potential, potential difference and potential energy also we have discussed. Okay, now today we are going to discuss about equipotential surfaces. And as the name suggests, these are the surfaces where at each and every point the potential is equal. Okay, from name only you can guess what is the definition of these equipotential surfaces. So now let's see the definition given in book. A surface which has the same or constant value of potential at all the points lying on it is called an equipotential surface. Okay, so on that surfaces at all the points the potentials are same. Okay, so now you can tell me that when we want to move any charged particle from one point to other in the equipotential surfaces, will we have to do any work? No, we don't have to do any work. Why? Because the potential is same everywhere, so there is no potential difference and hence we don't have to do any work there. This we have understood by theory. Now let's prove it by some mathematical formulas and concept. Here in front of you, you can see one surface is there. Here at this surface, one point A is there. Here point B is there. And you can see at both the points, the potential is same, that is V. And dear students, I want to say sorry to you because if you can hear any kind of noise with my voice, so I can't do anything. Okay, from outside so much noise is coming. I'm sorry if you can hear that and this disturbs you. Okay, so here at both the points the potential is same, that is V. Okay, so now here if we want to move a test charge Q naught from point A to B in this surface, we have to do some work. Okay, dW it is equals to Q naught dV, charge into dV, where dV is the potential difference between A and B. Now we know in equipotential surface at both the points potentials are same. So V minus V equals to 0. So that's why dW equals to 0. Thus no work is done in moving a charge from one point to another on an equipotential surface. But for work we have another formula, that is E into dl. Okay, and here you can see it is dot product. So dot product means E dl cos theta. Okay, now from equation this one and this one, here dw equals to 0, here dw equals to E dl cos theta. When we equate them both, we have E dl cos theta equals to 0 or cos theta equals to 0, and for which value of theta cos is 0? It is for 90 degree. So here we got theta equals to 90 degree. So what does it indicates? What is the significance of this equation? Okay, when we compare E dl cos theta to this one, we are getting 0. By that we get theta equals to 90 degree. This represents a very important thing, that electric field at any point on an equipotential surface is always perpendicular to the surface. Okay, theta equals to 90 degree here, and 90 degree represents the perpendicular line. So here electric field at any point on an equipotential surface is always perpendicular to the surface. Now some example of equipotential surfaces. Here in figure A, this one you can see because of one point charge. This is one single point charge. Because of this isolated point charge, here is one equipotential surface in which you can see concentric circles are there. Concentric circles means the center of these circles is same. Okay, these are the circles, their radius are different but their center is same. Okay, so these are the concentric circles with the charge at their center. These are shown by the dotted lines. Here in figure B, you can see a uniform electric field. Equipotential surfaces are the parallel planes with their surfaces perpendicular to the fields. Okay, this is due to one point charge, and this one is due to electric field. Okay, uniform electric field is there. You can see these lines are parallel. That means here the field is uniform. In the uniform electric field, the equipotential surfaces will be like this, a plane sheet, like parallel plane plates there. Okay, and as we have already proved that theta equals to 90 degree, that means the equipotential surfaces are perpendicular to field. So you can see this is the direction of field and this is the direction of surface perpendicular to the field. Then in figure C, you can see this is negative charge, this is positive charge. That means it is a dipole. So because of dipole, this will be the equipotential surface. Okay, because these two charges are opposite, so they will attract each other. So you can see, okay, different kind of shapes are there. These are the circles. Okay, then figure D. Figure D is for two charges of same type. Okay, if same type of charges will be there, then this type of equipotential surface will get. And I have already told you what is the behavior, what type of fields we will get when we have different types of charges in front of us. In chapter 1, we have already discussed that. Now let us discuss properties of equipotential surfaces. The first one is, no work is done in moving a charge from one point to another on an equipotential surface. Second is, electric field is perpendicular at every point on such surface. Third point, no two equipotential surfaces can ever intersect each other. If they do so, there will be two directions of the electric field at the same point, which is not possible. As we have already discussed that equipotential surfaces and electric field, they are perpendicular to each other. So if two surfaces will cross each other, so with one surface the electric field will be perpendicular, but for the second surface the same case will not be there, and which is not possible. Okay, and that's why no two equipotential surfaces can ever intersect each other. Then fourth point, the surfaces are crowded in the regions of the strong electric field and are far apart in regions of weak electric fields. Okay, it follows from above. E equals to minus dV upon dr. So here you can see, as the distance, okay, will increase, the amount of E will, as dr will decrease, E will increase. Okay, you basically have to remember this thing only, that in strong electric field regions, in the regions of strong electric field, they are close to each other, and in weak fields they are apart from each other, they are far from each other. Now next topic which we will discuss today is electrostatic shielding or screening. So what do you understand by a shield? Shield means which protect you or which hide you from something. Okay, shield means from the other side of shield nothing will be there. So here in electrostatic shielding, what we do, it is a process of isolating a certain region of space, that is volume, from external electric field. Okay, it is based on the fact that electric field inside a conductor is 0. I hope you must remember that in class 8th we have discussed in one chapter some natural phenomena. We have discussed that when thunderstorm is there outside the home, that time what you do, if you are inside a four-wheeler, so you should tightly pack the wheeler, close all the windows and doors, and sit inside the four-wheeler only. Okay, inside your car or van or bus, etc. It is the safest place that time. Then I have told you that also, that it is made up of metal. Metal is a conductor of electricity. But when thunderstorm fall on a metal which is closed, okay, which is a closed figure, okay, like if you are inside a car or bus and tightly pack all the doors and windows, etc., so it become like a packed box, and inside that there will be no effect of thunderstorm. Okay, over the surface of the vehicle the current will spread, that will distribute, but inside that you will be safe. So that phenomena is related to electrostatic shielding.